Most gacha games feel exactly the same, but Arknights Endfield is about to revolutionize the entire gacha market forever. If you're tired of playing the same gacha reskinned over and over again, you have to try Arknights Endfield, which is an upcoming semi-open world gacha game releasing in just a few days. And today, I want to explain to you why this game matters far more than people realize, and why it has the potential to change gacha games forever. For years now, most gacha games have followed the behemoth that is Genshin Impact, with games like Tower of Fantasy, Wuthering Waves, and many others taking the same pre-established formula. But Arknights Endfield is doing something vastly different. A semi-open world paired with unique traversal mechanics like ziplines, the factory system, and fresh combat design, making it unlike anything we've seen in major gacha games before. In this video, I'll break down exactly how Endfield differs from traditional open world gachas, what its biggest flaws are, and why all of this could reshape the future of gacha games. By the end, you'll understand why this release is one of the most important in recent years. What sets Arknights Endfield apart from its competitors is how differently it approaches the open world experience. Its semi-open world is designed in such a brilliant way that it genuinely left you wanting more. What makes it so good is the zipline system, the best traversal mechanic in Endfield when it comes to getting around the world, turning exploration into a strategic choice rather than just teleporting from point A to B all the time. You need to actively think about where to place the towers, how to chain your ziplines effectively, and how to use the environment to your advantage. It forces the player to actively engage with the world rather than just turning off your brain and zoning out. Then there's the factory system, which is a bit divisive amongst the community. Some love it while others hate it. Despite all the divisiveness, it's still one of the core features of Endfield. This is where you gather most of your resources and craft powerful gear for your characters. And if building a massive factory isn't something you want to do, the blueprint system lets you copy someone else's setup, saving you both the time and hassle of building it for yourself. Then there's the combat, arguably the most interesting aspect for some. The combat feels deliberately designed to make you think. Instead of controlling a party of 3 or 4 characters with predetermined rotations, you control a single character with AI companions, freely roaming the environment while chaining combos and coordinating attacks. This encourages you to adapt on the spot, position yourself strategically, and use your companions wisely, creating a combat experience that feels more dynamic and thoughtful, all the while having elemental reactions present to add more depth to the combat. If I'm being completely honest, Anfield combined traversal, combat, and resource management in a way that forces players to plan and strategize, something very few gacha games have attempted at this scale. While Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves excel at creating expansive open worlds, the actual content in terms of exploration is more straightforward and less strategic. Arknights Endfield, however, approaches exploration quite differently and makes it more unique. First off, the semi-open world makes you slow down and think about how you're getting around the world, rather than just fast traveling non-stop. In Genshin and Wuthering Waves alike, you can teleport from waypoint to waypoint with almost no planning. Endfield, on the other hand, makes traversal a strategic decision. You decide where to place your ziplines, how to chain them, and how to use the terrain to your advantage. It's less about moving quickly and more about actively engaging with the world around you, making exploration feel completely different than the games mentioned prior. Wuthering Waves partially addresses this with its motorbike, but Endfield's ziplines still offer a more strategic approach in my opinion. Moving on, the factory system is also another point of differentiation. Most open world gachas focus on resource gathering through quests or enemy drops, but in Endfield, how you manage and build your factory directly impacts your progression. It adds a whole new layer of depth that goes way beyond the usual progression loop you see in games like Genshin or Wuwa. Even the blueprint system adds flexibility without taking away that strategic element. Finally, combat in Endfield gives you a different kind of agency. While Genshin and Wuwa rely heavily on swapping characters and doing predetermined rotations, Endfield lets you control a single character with AI companions, roaming freely and adapting combos in real time. It just makes the combat feel more alive, and you get a lot more freedom to play around with your positioning, your attacks, and how your companions work together in tandem. Endfield isn't trying to be better than Genshin or Wuwa, instead it offers the unique combination of strategic traversal, resource management, and dynamic combat that sets it apart. For players who are looking for something completely different from Genshin and Wuthering Waves, Endfield delivers an experience you can't find in most of the open world gachas today with its unique semi-open world design. That being said, Arknights Endfield is nowhere near perfect. The biggest issues, no doubt, are the gacha system and the current story. Mainly the gacha system, which has been widely criticized by the community, and for good reason. Compared to other major open world gachas, it feels far more restrictive, with systems that many players consider bad or at best just barely acceptable. This is easily Enfield's biggest flaw. The story, on the other hand, isn't particularly memorable right now either. That's not entirely surprising, considering this is a large story, and many long-running gachas tend to find their narrative footing later on. Even with those faults, what makes Enfield important is the fact that it's not trying to be another Genshin clone, and that alone matters. For years now, open-world gachas have followed the same blueprint set by Genshin Impact. Even Wuthering Waves, despite doing a lot of things well, largely feels like Genshin 2.0 rather than a true evolution of the open-world gacha genre. Endfield breaks away from that pattern, and in doing so, it proves that open-world gachas don't have to follow a single formula. If this direction sticks, it could force future games to prioritize innovation over imitation, raising expectations for the genre as a whole. Like and subscribe, thank you.